Chosen one, stop scrolling. For years, eyes have been on you, watching, studying, testing. You thought it was paranoia, but it was purpose. Every delay, every betrayal, every person who suddenly turned on you, none of it was random. The universe was observing your strength in silence, preparing to see if you were ready to rise beyond what was meant to break you. They watched how you handled loneliness. They watched how you kept faith when nothing made sense. They watched how you rose again after every fall. You were never being punished, you were being measured. The ones chosen by divine energy are never left alone. From birth, you carried an aura that made people uneasy. Even as a child, you felt unseen yet constantly observed. That's because light cannot hide in darkness. And your light, no matter how much you tried to dim it, was impossible to ignore. You were marked long before you knew your own name. The path of the awakened one is not handed out. It's earned through pain, isolation, and the burning away of everything false. While others were chasing comfort, you were being prepared in silence for something greater. Have you ever noticed how the wrong people were drawn to you? How manipulators, liars, and envious souls seemed to appear at every chapter of your life? It wasn't coincidence. It was resistance. Darkness always detects the rising of light before the light itself realizes its power. You were being tested to see if your heart would remain pure when surrounded by deception. Many have tried to study your energy. They couldn't understand why doors opened for you that remained locked for others. They tried to mimic your essence, copy your words, even steal your ideas, but they couldn't replicate your frequency. Because your power isn't learned, it's awakened. The reason you were watched is because your rise threatens the systems built on illusion. The chosen ones are living proof that truth still exists in a world addicted to lies. When your spirit began to awaken, you shifted timelines without even realizing it. You disrupted generational patterns. You activated energies that others were too afraid to face. Society fears those who can't be controlled. That's why chosen souls are often misunderstood, labeled too emotional, too intense, or too different. But the truth is, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to awaken what others are too blind to see. Every rejection was redirection. Every loss was initiation. Every period of silence was sacred training. The universe watched not to harm you, but to confirm you were ready for the rise. And now, the time has come. You're stepping into the season where your watchers will witness what they tried to suppress. The same eyes that looked down on you will now look up in disbelief. You are not who you were before. You are becoming who you were destined to be. The rise is not loud, it's powerful. It's the silent realization that nothing outside you can stop what has already been written inside your spirit. You've walked through fire, and instead of burning, you began to shine. Now every hidden truth will surface. Every unanswered question will reveal its purpose. Every delay was divine alignment. You were never behind, you were being positioned. Chosen soul, your rise will not be ordinary. You'll rise in peace. You'll rise in power. You'll rise with wisdom that can't be taught. The same energy that once broke you will now bow before your strength. You were watched because you are the proof that no weapon formed against divine destiny can stand. And now heaven watches as you rise. So step forward with faith, speak your truth, don't hide your light anymore. The time for silence is over. The world needs your voice, your vision, your vibration. If this message resonated with your spirit, trust that it was meant for you. Like this video, share your awakening in the comments, and subscribe to Ascended Awakening for more messages like this. Your rise has already begun. They watched how you questioned everything you were taught. When others followed blindly, you searched for truth beyond the surface. You saw through the smiles that hid deceit. You sensed when something wasn't right, even when no one else did. This awareness, this deep knowing, has always set you apart. It's the reason people are drawn to you, yet some resent you without understanding why. Your spirit carries codes of remembrance. You carry ancient energy that wakes dormant souls just by existing. That's why some people can't stand your presence. It reminds their spirit of everything they've forgotten. The truth is, not everyone who watches you is against you. Some are just fascinated, confused by how you keep shining after everything meant to destroy you. They see your resilience and wonder where your strength comes from. They can't explain it, but you can feel it. You know you're guided by something higher, something unseen. The watchers sense it too. They can't describe it, but your energy disturbs what's fake. Your very existence exposes illusions. That's why you attract so much attention, even when you're silent. Because your frequency speaks louder than words ever could. You were never meant to be invisible. Every setback was orchestrated to reveal your authenticity. Every betrayal pushed you closer to your purpose. When people walked away, it was the universe clearing your path. Because not everyone can go where you're headed. Now the same forces that studied your struggle will witness your transformation. The same people who doubted your light will have no choice but to acknowledge your glow. They'll wonder how you survived what was meant to break you. But you'll know, it was destiny. You were watched because you were chosen to show what divine endurance looks like. Every storm you faced was a silent prophecy. Every tear watered the seed of your awakening. And now, the bloom begins. You're entering a season where clarity replaces confusion, purpose replaces pain, and divine timing replaces human doubt. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet shift in your spirit, the inner calm after years of chaos. That's the signal that your rise has already started. You no longer chase what's meant for you, it's being magnetically drawn to your vibration. The watchers can't interfere anymore. The tests are complete. The lessons are learned. What's coming next is elevation, beyond recognition. You'll see people reappear, not to test you, but to witness the power of your transformation. You'll notice doors opening effortlessly, connections aligning perfectly, opportunities appearing from nowhere. It's not luck, it's alignment. The energy you once had to fight for will now flow to you, because you passed the trials that most never survive. And through it all, you stayed kind. You stayed grounded. You didn't let the darkness harden you. That's what makes you unstoppable. The watchers underestimated your light, but heaven never did. Keep going, because this is just the beginning of your rise. The universe is about to reveal why you had to endure so much in silence. The things that didn't make sense before will suddenly align like puzzle pieces falling into place. You are entering a divine season of revelation, where hidden enemies are exposed and hidden blessings are unveiled. The scales are shifting. The watchers are now witnesses. You've always felt that unseen presence around you. In the quiet moments when the world went still, something deep within whispered, "You are not alone." That wasn't your imagination. It was divine surveillance. Not to harm you, but to guard the destiny written over your life. There were moments you could feel eyes on you, even in solitude. That tension, that awareness, it was your spirit sensing both the divine and the deceptive, watching your every move. The light in you drew both heaven's protection and darkness's curiosity. They studied your reactions, your endurance, your faith. Every time you fell, they watched to see if you'd stay down, but you didn't. You rose again and again, stronger than before. And with each rise, your energy shifted, your vibration elevated, your light intensified. That's when the watchers began to fear what they once tried to control. Because the truth is, your awakening cannot be contained. They tried to confuse you with distractions, to blind you with temporary illusions, to isolate you in emotional storms. But what they didn't know was that isolation is where chosen souls transform. You found power in your pain, meaning in your suffering, and clarity in your silence. You began to see the world differently. You noticed patterns others ignored. You sensed manipulation in systems, energy in spaces, intentions behind words. That heightened awareness was your spiritual armor activating. The watchers didn't expect you to decode their plans. but the divine gave you sight beyond sight. Every attack only refined your discernment. Every heartbreak only deepened your wisdom. Every delay only expanded your strength. Now, those who once observed your downfall are witnessing your elevation. You were never meant to remain hidden forever. The cocoon was temporary. The isolation was preparation. The silence was sacred construction. The universe hid you while you healed, so that when you re-emerged, no one could recognize the version of you they tried to destroy. You became untraceable, unpredictable, unstoppable. And that's the beauty of the chosen path. It's not about revenge, it's about revelation. You don't rise to prove them wrong. You rise to prove destiny right. The Watchers can't comprehend how you carry peace after war, love after betrayal, faith after chaos. But that's because your power doesn't come from this world. It's spiritual, ancient, infinite. You carry codes that awaken others. Just your presence can shift a room's vibration. That's why you were misunderstood. That's why you made people uncomfortable. Your frequency exposes what's fake, and not everyone is ready to face themselves in your reflection. They thought they were watching you, but in truth, you were awakening them. Every moment they studied you, their spirit was being confronted by truth. They couldn't explain why your energy lingered in their mind, why your words echoed in their thoughts long after you were gone. But that's the power of divine presence. It doesn't fade, it transforms. You are now stepping into a realm where your visibility will multiply, but this time, it will be divine exposure. The right souls will find you. The right opportunities will recognize you. The right energies will align effortlessly with you. Because when a chosen one rises, the universe rearranges everything around them. The Watchers may have observed your pain, but now they'll witness your purpose. They'll see what divine protection looks like when favor is finally revealed. When a chosen one rises, the entire atmosphere begins to shift. Energy starts to move differently around you. People who once ignored you suddenly feel pulled toward you, though they can't explain why. The same ones who doubted you begin to sense something powerful unfolding. It's not arrogance they feel, it's authority, spiritual authority. Your presence begins to speak before your words ever do. Rooms go silent when you enter because your frequency vibrates truth. Those who once dismissed you start to realize you were never ordinary. You were never just another person. You were a mirror, reflecting back what others refuse to confront within themselves. That's why your rise makes people uncomfortable. You carry a light that forces hidden shadows to reveal themselves. Some will admire it, others will resist it, but all will feel it. No one crosses paths with a chosen one and leaves unchanged. And as you ascend, the Watchers, those who underestimated your strength, begin to feel the weight of what they did. They realize that while they were watching you, something greater was watching them. Because divine justice doesn't operate on human timing, it moves in silence, observing all, correcting all. Your rise exposes motives. It exposes deception. It exposes everything and everyone that was never truly for you. And as these illusions fall away, you'll find yourself surrounded only by truth, truth in people, truth in purpose, truth in peace. The Watchers will be forced to watch again, but this time from a distance they can't cross. They won't understand how you got here, because your elevation didn't come from connections or shortcuts. It came from obedience. You listened when your spirit said wait. You trusted when logic said quit. And now the universe rewards that faith. Doors that were sealed tight will open with ease. Paths that once felt blocked will clear like fog before the morning sun. Everything you lost will return, not as it was, but multiplied, purified, elevated. There's a sacred irony to your story. The very attention meant to monitor your downfall became evidence of your miracle. Every eye that watched your struggle will now have to witness your rise. And they'll know it wasn't luck, it was alignment. You see, chosen ones don't rise for attention, they rise for impact. Your transformation sends ripples through realms. When you heal, entire bloodlines shift. When you awaken, countless others begin to question their own reality. That's why the divine protected you so fiercely. You're not just one person, you're a frequency changer, a breaker of cycles, a living prophecy in motion. The Watchers can't decode that. They'll analyze your moves, your posts, your energy, but they'll never understand the force guiding you, because this force is not of this world. It's the hand of the Creator moving through you. Your rise is not meant to be loud. It will be graceful, steady, divine. No revenge, no bitterness, no explanation, just elevation. Because real power doesn't announce itself, it reveals itself. You'll notice that people start confessing things they once hid. You won't even ask. The truth will expose itself in your presence. That's what happens when divine light intensifies. It burns through all illusion. The same energy that once made you question yourself will now confirm your calling. You'll realize every delay had design, every heartbreak had higher purpose. You'll start to feel at peace with your past because you finally understand it was never rejection, it was redirection. And this peace you carry, it's what they always envied. Not your looks, not your talent, not your life. It was your peace. Because peace is power. Peace means you're untouchable. Peace means you've mastered the art of not reacting to chaos. Peace is the chosen one's hidden weapon. It's not loud, it doesn't argue, it doesn't need to prove anything. It simply exists, calm, unshakable, divine. When you reach that level of peace, darkness loses its grip on you. Those who once tried to provoke you will become frustrated because their chaos no longer reaches your spirit. You've transcended the frequency of drama. You've stepped into stillness, and stillness is where divine power moves the strongest. Peace is the atmosphere of the awakened. It's the quiet before manifestation, the silence before breakthrough, the energy that makes enemies fall without you lifting a hand. They don't understand how you remain composed while everything around you shifts. But you know why, because your spirit has already seen the outcome. You've already won battles that haven't even begun. That's why your peace intimidates them. It's prophetic. It's proof that your victory is sealed. You've learned that true strength isn't in reaction, it's in restraint. Your calm isn't weakness, it's awareness. You see through everything now. You sense the intention behind every word, the energy behind every smile. That's why you no longer entertain certain people or situations. You've outgrown the vibration of confusion. And with that growth comes a new kind of protection. Not everyone can access you anymore, not because you're cold, but because your spirit has boundaries now. Your energy is sacred, your time divine. The chosen don't chase, they attract. They don't beg, they align. That's why lately you felt distant from your old life. It's not depression, it's detachment. You're being elevated out of environments that can no longer sustain your frequency. The universe is repositioning you into spaces that match your new vibration. It may feel lonely, but that loneliness is sacred too. It's the sound of transformation. Even silence feels different now. It's no longer empty, it's full of messages. You can feel downloads coming through your intuition. You can sense when someone's energy is pure or not. You can feel when something is meant for you before it even arrives. That's divine alignment. That's your peace turning into prophecy. And when that peace radiates through you, people will notice. They'll see a glow they can't explain, an aura they can't deny. You'll start drawing souls who are meant to rise with you. Kindred spirits, awakened minds, divine connections. The same vibration that once isolated you will now unite you with your tribe. But even then you'll feel a quiet knowing, you're being watched again. Not by those who want to harm you this time, but by those who are inspired by you. People you've never met will find hope just by hearing your story. You'll become the proof that divine timing is real, that spiritual awakening is possible, that pain can be transmuted into purpose. The watchers will shift from skeptics to believers, from enemies to observers, from mockers to witnesses. They'll see that what once broke you actually built you. They'll realize that peace is not passive, it's power in its purest form. You'll notice how your silence starts to speak louder than any argument ever could. How your energy begins to communicate more than your words. How everything that used to drain you now fuels your purpose. The truth is, peace changes everything. It disarms manipulation, confuses darkness, and invites miracles. It's the state of being that allows divine energy to flow through you effortlessly. And once you've reached that level of stillness, you become unstoppable. You no longer move from fear, you move from faith. You no longer seek validation, you embody it. You no longer react, you create. This is the phase where the chosen one begins to manifest effortlessly, where thoughts become things, where alignment becomes reality, where what was once delayed now arrives suddenly, because you finally vibrate at the same frequency as your destiny. When peace anchors inside the chosen one, manifestation becomes natural. You no longer chase outcomes, you attract alignment. Your thoughts begin to carry a different weight, your words a different vibration. You start to notice how quickly the universe responds to your energy. It's as if reality itself bends in your favor, synchronizing to your calm certainty. You realize that manifestation isn't about control, it's about surrender. When you stop forcing, everything starts flowing. When you stop doubting, everything starts aligning. You understand that what's meant for you doesn't need to be chased, it needs to be received. In this state, even your silence speaks creation. You think it and it arrives. You release it and it returns multiplied. That's the reward of surviving the test. You've proven that you can hold power without ego, that you can handle blessings without forgetting where they come from. The watchers are confused by this phase of your life. They can't figure out how you keep winning quietly. No grand announcements, no validation seeking, yet everything seems to unfold perfectly for you. It's because you're no longer co-creating from fear, you're co-creating from faith. You've become a vessel of divine will. When you speak, your words carry frequency. When you move, your steps are guided. When you rest, the universe works on your behalf. People will start to call it luck, but you'll know it's alignment. They'll say, "You're glowing lately," but they won't understand it's divine presence reflecting through you. They'll see doors opening for you and wonder who helped you, but the truth is, it was never who, it was always what. The energy you've stepped into now magnetizes miracles. Every day begins to feel like confirmation. The little signs, the numbers, the dreams, the coincidences, all start to connect. You'll wake up and feel that something has shifted in the unseen realm. You won't be able to explain it logically, but your soul will whisper, "It's happening." That's the stage where divine timing becomes undeniable. Opportunities that once felt impossible appear suddenly. People who were meant to meet you start crossing your path effortlessly. Situations that once drained you no longer exist in your vibration. And through it all, you remain calm. You don't rush. You don't overthink. You know everything is unfolding exactly how it should. That's the frequency of the awakened, faith without fear, peace without proof. This peace turns into magnetism. It pulls destiny closer. It makes your presence unforgettable. When you walk into a room, people feel something before they even know your name. That's not charisma, it's alignment. That's not coincidence, it's divine energy radiating from you. And as this light expands, the watchers are drawn again, but differently now. They sense that your energy carries revelation. They observe not to harm, but to learn. You become a silent teacher, awakening others simply through your existence. You no longer need to explain your purpose. You embody it. You no longer need to defend your truth. You live it. Your life becomes the message. Your journey becomes the sermon. Without trying, you awaken others, because light always teaches by example. Even the ones who once doubted you will begin to see. They'll remember what they said, how they laughed, how they dismissed your vision, and they'll realize they were witnessing prophecy in its early stages. What was hidden in the dark has now bloomed in divine light. You'll feel gratitude instead of pride, because your rise was never about proving anyone wrong. It was about proving what faith can do. You'll look back on every storm and see it as preparation for this peace. You'll notice your energy expanding beyond your personal life. You'll begin influencing people without effort, through your presence, through your words, through your quiet confidence. That's how the universe works through the chosen ones. It doesn't need noise to make impact. It only needs alignment. Listen closely, because this part is for you. If this message ignited something inside your spirit, it's not by accident. You were meant to hear this. You were meant to awaken now. So don't let this truth fade. Stand tall in your calling. Walk boldly in your purpose. The same energy that tried to break you is now bowing to your rise. If your soul feels this message, show it. Drop a comment below that says, "I'm rising." Like this video to send this energy into the world. And make sure you subscribe to Ascended Awakening, because your journey isn't over. What's coming next will open your eyes even more. This is your moment, chosen soul. Your rise has begun. Now let the world witness it.